Hey everybody, welcome back to another amazing video. My name is McDaniel and I am your host and guide through all things Bay Area when it comes to housing and entertainment and cool things to do. I will take you on the guide, but first I need you guys to go ahead and subscribe and smash that like button and subscribe button right there along with the bell so you get notified every single time that I go live. Today we're going to be talking about should I move to San Francisco? And the top things I need to know before you move to San Francisco. And guys, there are some doozies in here. I've been living here in the Bay Area for a long period of time, and I was reading through the list that I put together, and I'm like, these are all important things that people absolutely have to pay attention to, but make sure you stick around for number 10, because that one takes the cake. All right, guys, are you ready to go learn a little about San Francisco? Okay, let's go. So you've decided that you might be thinking about making a move to San Francisco. Well, it's a great place to live, but there are some things you definitely need to know before moving to the city by the bay. Now, what would those things be? Well, it's expensive and it's small. That's just the way it goes. Now, if you guys are coming from like Chicago, LA, New York, Philly, or something like that, we're nice and spread out. When you come here to San Francisco, you're gonna notice that it's only 46.87 square miles large. That's why everybody here, we are all kind of stacked on top of each other. We have thousands of people per square mile here. So if you're used to open, sprawling landscapes, this is definitely not gonna be the city for you. But if you love culture and you like diversity and you love charm and you like being by the water and you like strange stuff, well, we may have found your huckleberry. Speaking of strange stuff, well, we're going to talk about microclimates. That's right, guys. The microclimates in San Francisco are insanely different. Like, you could be out in one part of the city and it would be a certain temperature, and then you come over to another part of the city and you won't need that sweatshirt anymore. That's just how we roll. But that's one of the things we're going to be talking about in today's video. You're also going to be talking about the fact that, yes, all the rumors might be true. There might be poop on the streets, and there is. And yes, it might be true there's $1 million homes right next to a homeless encampment. It's true, but that's San Francisco. Let's start crushing down this list. Number 1, things you absolutely must know before you move to San Francisco, California, and that is picking your neighborhood. There are 34 distinctly different neighborhoods here in San Francisco, and they're all so uniquely different. It's awesome. But there really is a diversity when it comes to what your lifestyle is going to look like. So, I mean, you got to go, and I would highly recommend the fact that if you guys are going to be picking a neighborhood, take a look at where it's located in the city, then go out and crash on a buddy's couch or stay in a hotel there for a couple of days, if not a week or two, and really start getting to know what the microclimates are like. Because you could be out in the inner Sunset and it's 49 degrees, right? But then you cruise over to the Soma and it's 65 degrees. The diversity of microclimates are insanity. Actually, there's a fun little app that I use. It's called Mr. Chili, and you can download that thing and you can see all around San Francisco where the warmest place is. Staying in your zone is probably an important part of selecting your neighborhood. If walking to grocery stores, cafes, bars, restaurants are really important to you, make sure you really get out there and get a feel for the area that you're potentially going to be living in. Now, keep in mind, there's a very good chance that the way that prices are here in San Francisco that you might be priced out of your dream neighborhood. Some different neighborhoods you want to look at for more affordable options is the Outer Sunset and Visitation Valley. You know, in my opinion, if I had to choose between those two as affordable areas, I would go again and take a look at them and get a real deep dive look and see if these are the type of neighborhoods and the areas you want to live in that's going to fit your lifestyle. Here is thing number 2 that you absolutely need to know before you move to San Francisco, and that is traffic sucks. Oh my God. Guys, I've lived in the Bay Area mostly my entire life, and I will tell you one thing. Traffic in San Francisco is deplorable. I mean, you really got to start timing your trips, because you could be in the Outer Sunset or in the Mission, or, you know, out somewhere near like Seacliff or something like that, or in the Presidio, and you've got to get all the way over to the freeway, and it's going to take you 45 minutes. That's the one thing about the city. Traffic is horrible. Parking is atrocious. It is horrible to do parking. In some of the neighborhoods that you're going to think about potentially living in, you got to go make sure that there's when the street cleaning is, so you can get your butt up and go get that car off the street, or you can get yourself a big old fine. Boom. But you know what? I don't think that's going to happen because they got great mass transit. They have BART, they have the Muni. BART obviously is Bay Area Rapid Transit. Muni is going to be more along our subline. Then we have our trolley cars in parts of the city. So if you do want to move into the San Francisco and you do have a big vehicle, I mean like Tonka truck big, might want to sell it and downsize a little. Also, the other thing about traffic in the city, all these ride-sharing apps, absolutely none of these people driving these ride-sharing apps decide to pull in anywhere off the street. They will stop dead in front of you, turn your hazards on, and you got to avoid them like you're playing Mario Kart in real life. There have been times when I'm zigging, zagging through people all over the place. People are honking at me, I'm yelling at them, and you know what? I'm the guy not parked in the middle of the road. So if that bothers you, might want to keep it in mind. Number 3 are the things you absolutely have to know before you move to San Francisco. And guess what, guys? It's something that's searched over 1 million times a month on the internet. And it is weather. Yep, you guessed it. Weather in San Francisco, guys, it can go hot to cold like that. And you know what? That's okay. There are ways to get around it. Now, being a Bay Area native, essentially, being here since 2nd grade, I have learned one important thing in my life. Every single time you go to San Francisco, you absolutely, unequivocally never travel there if you're not bringing layers. And I'm talking like layers, or not like these layers, but I'm talking like layers. That could just be a sweatshirt or a light coat or a heavy coat, depends on kind of how you're feeling. But I mean, you could go out there on a Saturday morning and it could be 65 degrees, no clouds or anything like that. By 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, that fog could have rolled in hard, and you in the shorts and the t-shirt, which you thought were going to be perfect all day, you are now freezing. You gotta go get yourself a hot toddy, or go duck into somewhere that's warm, or go buy a tourist sweatshirt that says I love San Francisco on it. You gotta do something because you're freezing to death. So here's the easy thing to do, guys. Just bring layers and you'll be absolutely fine. But knowing that the weather is going to shift on you is something you gotta keep in your brain when you're thinking about moving here. So if you don't like fog and you don't like wind, this really might not be the city for you. Okay, guys, here's number 4 of the things you absolutely need to know before moving to San Francisco. And guys, there is no real summer here in San Francisco. Actually, June, July, and August are some of your chilliest months. I mean, if you're used to 4 seasons, this place is gonna be a culture shock to your system. You're gonna go, what the just happened when I moved to the city by the bay? Well, it's called fog. And no, the summertime you usually think of frolicking in the water, boat rides. That's just not the case here. Actually, you're gonna need to go get a sweatshirt or a jacket to walk down to Crissy Fields, Ocean Beach, or just a local restaurant or bar. And the funny thing is that as you become a local here, you will definitely be able to tell yourself between the locals and the tourists. The tourists are the ones that did not get the message about the weather change and did not get the message that summer is not summer by City by the Bay. But here's the sunny side to all of this. In September and October, it is gorgeous here. It is warm, people are out, and the funny thing is, here in San Francisco, all of us locals, when the sun comes out, we break out of our houses like inmates out of a jail. We come running and going to one of the 220 parks that are here located in San Francisco. That's one of the great things about it, and I'm going to get to that thing here a little bit later in our video, but you'll be really surprised on how many great parks there are that you get to enjoy when it's not foggy. Okay, guys, here's number 5 of the things you absolutely must know before you move to San Francisco, and that is rents are high. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean to the fact that a 1-bed, 1-bath is gonna go for $3,700. Yeah, whoa. Did you just say $3,700? That's $3,700 for like probably a 500 to 750 square foot apartment? Yeah. That's basically exactly what I'm telling you. But so here's the thing. Yes, prices are high, but yet so are the home prices. That's what's driving up the rents, because the lack of supply to purchase at a somewhat rational price point, that just drives people into staying as renters. But here's the good thing. Renters are in demand. City has responded. Supply is up. Therefore, you get a little bit more to select from, but the prices are going to be higher too. All right, we're on to number 6 of the things you absolutely must know before moving to San Francisco. And that's going to be housing prices are through the roof. Now, here's the thing. The median price here in San Francisco right now is $1,380,000, and that's actually, half of what it was 5 years ago. And yes, your math skills are strong, my young Padawan, if you can do that in your head. I did not. I had to get the calculator out, and it's $690,000. So, after your mind's being blown, the median price is $1.38 million, and it could have been $690,000 5 years ago. Whoa, that's a mind buster. So there's two reasons why these prices are so astronomically high, and they're in the stratosphere. And this is the reason. Well, one of the reasons. One, land use restrictions. That means we can't do everything we want to do where we want to do it when we want to do it, so we got restrictions, okay? The other one is we have the NIMBYs. And what is a NIMBY? Not in my backyard. That's what NIMBY stands for. Basically, it says, don't go doing anything in my backyard, but go over there and do it in someone else's. Well, the NIMBYs versus the longtime residents of San Francisco, because the NIMBYs are saying, hey man, we don't want to have, the way you guys are building, we don't like what we're seeing. We want high-rise verticals. Put more high-rise stuff in. And the longtime residents are going, no man, we want to keep this stuff more traditional, the way the San Francisco is. Make it more idealistic, more iconic, just more of that classic, turn of the century look and feel. Well, when these two go, nothing happens. So there, that answers your question. We have NIMBYs, long-term residents, combine high prices of real estate. However, you know what? Homeownership doesn't need to be something that you can never obtain. Now, you only do a few small things. You have to save up for 9 years. That's not a joke. Or you have a C-level, corporate job at a tech company that you're firmly rooted in, or maybe even have a solid, big, huge trust fund. Well, then you might have a chance of really buying. But here's the real truth, all joking aside. You've got to understand, when you buy real estate here in San Francisco, it's going to sell for well over the list price, and most of the time it's all cash with no contingencies. That's where your mindset needs to be when you're thinking about moving to San Francisco and real estate. All right, here we go. Number 7 on our list of things you absolutely must know before you move to San Francisco. And the rumors are true. There are homeless people everywhere. Okay, I don't care what part of the city you're in, you are going to meet some of our other citizens of this beautiful city. Now, these are other human beings. They deserve respect. Now, everybody's made different life choices in their life. That's where we've all landed in different places in our life. But there is going to be a difference and a dichotomy between the high-end real estate we just talked about, or the folks that are barely making it, living in their cars, living on their streets. Yes, there is human feces on the streets. Yes, there are animal feces on the streets. Yes, there are needles in the tenderloin on the street. Yes, there are things that are going to probably blow your mind if you're from the Midwest. But if this is something that doesn't bother you, like, I gotta tell you guys, on a personal level, I go to the city literally every weekend, and I will tell you, it is a gorgeous place. But you will have conversations with folks that are down on their luck. You will walk past tent encampments. You will see things that you've never seen before. You will witness bums with no pants on. You will see things like that. So if that's something that bothers you, this shouldn't be a place for you to move. If it's not a big deal to you, come on in, join the party, come on live by a city by the bay. But just know, homeless people do abound. There are poop on the streets, and there is going to be things that you've never seen before. But if that doesn't bother you, rock and roll. All right, guys, here we've almost done. We're almost to number 10. But here is the number 8 reason why you need to know this before you move to San Francisco. And this is the good one. This is the good one, okay? You're going to be completely spoiled by your outdoor surroundings. You are going to see some of the most beautiful stuff. You're going to have Golden Gate Park. You're going to have Land's End. You're going to have the Presidio. You're going to have one of the 220 parks that San Francisco has provided and maintains for you. It is amazing. There was a survey done the other year, and they actually said, I think everyone in San Francisco could walk to a park within 5 minutes. And I'm like, that's not true. And then I tried it. I could walk to a park within 5 minutes. I could walk to 3 parks within 5 minutes, actually. And it's absolutely fantastic. And it's not like we just go to the park and you have a quiet little lunch. People are out, man. People are out crushing it. They're out in Golden Gate Park. They're having picnics and a couple of drinks, kicking the soccer ball, hitting the baseball or softball, throwing the frisbee, chasing the dog, or the dog chasing them. We don't know. Hit up one of the museums, go for a stroll, go to the Presidio on Sundays during the summer, and go to the food truck-a-thon. That's fun, by the way. If you've never been to the Presidio and gone to the food trucks, that is an awesome event. Everybody's out hanging out. They're drinking beer, some wine. You got the Golden Gate Bridge right up to your left. You got surrounded by historical buildings. You got great food and just an awesome environment. So if you're thinking about moving to San Francisco and you like being outdoors, now, yes, there are cold days and yes, there are going to be warm days, but I will tell you one thing. On those warm days, far outweigh the chilly days. And the chilly days aren't that bad. Throw a couple of sweatshirts on, golden, okay? But the outdoor spaces are gonna be amazing because they throw epic concerts here, like Outdoor Lands, the bluegrass concerts. The list goes on what they do. There's always an event. There's always something going on that you can go take a part of. There's a great little website called SF Fun and Cheap. And if you go to that, when you decide to move here, you can scroll through and see all the amazing outdoor activities that they're having every single weekend. Oh, and one more thing about being outside. If you guys like to go for jogs or running, ditch the expensive gym membership, man. There are stairs galore around San Francisco. And by the way, if you go hunt them down, there's some gorgeous ones that you definitely want to go run up, take a picture at the top, send it to your friends and family. Here's number 9 of the reasons that you absolutely have to know before moving to San Francisco. Okay, so what this is that San Francisco is not the easiest place to raise children. I'm telling you, man, they have a crazy lotto system. And what it does is that if you live in this neighborhood where they're going to could send your child all the way across town into an area that's not even a part of their neighborhood, just the way their system works. And then you have the other option there. You could do the private schools, but those things are pricey. No wonder we see a lot of people heading out to Marin or to the East Bay for better schools and more family-friendly environments. Now look, San Francisco's a blast to be an adult. It's like an adult playground. But when it comes to the little midget humans, not the best. So here's the lowdown. If you can't afford to go to the stroller mecca, aka Noe Valley, and put your kids still through expensive, pricey private schools, you know what? Great options are just a bridge trip away, going either north or east. They're going to find some great family-friendly environments. You're going to find some great public schools. And guess what? I've even heard there's good parking too. Bing, bing, bing. Congratulations, guys. We've reached number 10 of the things you absolutely must know before you move to San Francisco. And this is it. Back in the 90s, there was this little show called Full House, and they would always open up showing the painted ladies in Alamo Square, and people thought it was so picturesque and just absolutely charming and perfect to live in San Francisco. Well, guys, it's not. It is a big city. So there are going to be things from the Tenderloin where you see prostitution and open drug use. You're going to go all the way out to, the foggy parts of San Francisco, like in the Richmond district and the outer Sunset. Then you're going to go up to out to Noe Valley where it's just absolutely amazing. Then all the way over to Pac Heights. Pacific Heights for all the rest of us. Guys, there's such a diversity and such a difference with everybody who lives here. You have to be accepting. You have to understand that there are different cultures, different religions, different ways of life that all have melded together. So if you have a picturesque view that San Francisco is just the painted ladies in Alamo Square and all the grass is trimmed, that's just not going to be the case. But if you want to explore it, if you want to check it out, then you guys have got to give me a call. You know what? I love the Bay Area. I love San Francisco. I love what this area offers and represents. It is one crazy kooky town, but it is my crazy kooky town, and I've tried to leave, and I've tried to leave 4 or 5 times, and I'm like a boomerang, just boom, and I'm right back. And I just love it. My heart was lost in San Francisco. So if these are some things that were helpful for you, I want you guys to like and subscribe. Just smash that subscribe button right there. Hit that bell. Make sure you guys get alerted every single time when I upload a video. Here's the reason why. We get calls, dozens of calls every week from people just like you that have been watching my videos for a long period of time. And they say, Greg, we're ready to make the move. We want to get some information about this area. Can you help us? And I say, I certainly can. My team certainly can. And my associates around the Bay certainly can. So guys, again, my name is Greg McDaniel. I hope you enjoyed this video. Share this with a friend or family member, and I will see you on the next video.